semen retention. How to manipulate a urge. Now, see, I know a lot of you guys probably been waiting on this video. You've been wondering, man, how can I stop these urges from, these sexual urges from like flourishing up? You know what I'm saying? How can I stop this energy? The thing you got to do is, bro, to stop a sexual urge, what I want you to do is get up. I want you to get up. See, a lot of you guys might not know this, but I have them too. So what I mean by getting up, I normally get my sexual urges when I'm laying down in the bed. You know what I'm saying? At night. So I know you get sexual urges too at night. So that's what I meant by getting up. I need you to get up. Once you get up, jump in a cold shower. Take a cold shower. Cold showers can, freeze up that energy, that sexual urge, and it can stop it. You know what I'm saying? If that works for you, cold showers don't work for every man when it comes down to sexual urge. But that cold shower, if it worked for you, because, it can, when you're in that coldness, man, it just frees you up, man. It gets your blood flowing, circulating. So it is moving that sexual urge, it's moving that energy all around in your body. So it can stop that sexual urge. But, jump in the cold shower. I don't care how late it is. Jump in that cold shower, bro. Even if you have taken a shower, just jump in that cold shower for a couple of minutes. You don't got to stand that long. You don't even got to, take another bath. It's up to you if you want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Just jump in that cold shower and so it can move that sexual energy, so it can direct it and spread it out throughout the body. You know what I'm saying? And have your blood circulating more. That'll freeze up that urge. Another thing is, how to manipulate an urge is to do, a couple push-ups. A lot of guys, they'll get up in the morning before they go to work, do a couple push-ups. Even guys that's not on semen retention. So to manipulate the sexual urge, stretch, do a couple push-ups, do a couple sit-ups, lift some weights, jog in place. This can manipulate a sexual urge because you redirecting that energy into, action. You taking action. So you draining that energy. You moving that energy around. So it's no longer a feeling no more. It disappears from being a feeling to being a activity. You see? This is how you manipulate a sexual urge, man. This is another way. Now, another way that you can manipulate a, sexual urge is by, if you have a purpose, you can do your purpose at your house. Do it. Like me, I do YouTube videos. This is my purpose. So, if I have a sexual urge, and I'm learning now, like in the process, just studying, man, like, and just knowing my body. If I have a sexual urge, I'm going to get up and do a video, man. Redirect the energy. Put the energy into towards something else. So, guys, man, it's so many different ways you can manipulate a sexual urge. Another thing, too, is listening to music. Believe it or not. As long as you ain't listening to nothing that's, that R&B stuff, because when you listen to R&B, sometimes, a lot of times they talk sexual, stuff like that. So listen to some rap, listen to some jazz, listen to, some rock or whatever you want to, whatever your genre of music, but make sure you're not listening to R&B. That's a no-no. That's a red flag. Because you already know what's up when it comes down to R&B. Put on some meditation music. Put on some meditation music. And meditate. That's how you can manipulate a sexual urge too. Meditation. Get spiritual with it. More spiritual with it. To manipulate that urge. Meditate, man. Sit in your bed and just, you can do excuse me, different exercises. I'm burping. You do different exercises, you know. Do a breathing exercise, you know. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And then, you know, keep doing it. You start breathing in and out faster. Like, just do exercises. That's the exercise. You know, you redirecting that energy towards, you know, your breath. And plus, like, when you doing, you know, when you inhaling and exhaling, that's an exercise. So it's redirecting that energy, man, into a form of breath. And when you redirect that energy into a form of, you know, a breath exercise and breath taking in and out, it actually gives you energy. It actually gives you energy. It doesn't give you that urge, that type of energy. It just gives you energy in general. So then you could just get up and, you know, do something else. Because you're going to be wide awake. Man, there's so many different ways you can manipulate a sexual urge. Another thing you can do to manipulate a sexual urge is to pray. Pray. Praying is a form of meditation. Believe it or not, it's a form of meditation. You know, you closing your eyes, you focusing on, you know, not releasing that sexual energy. You asking God for help. You know, you asking God for, you know, wisdom, knowledge, or direction, what you should do with the sexual energy. Man, just get up and pray. You know, it's a form of exercise. It take energy. You know, the vibration off your voice is, you know, it carries energy. So pray, man. That's how you can, you know, manipulate a sexual urge. Another thing too that you can manipulate a, you know, sexual urge is just change your focus. Watch a movie. Put on a movie. Watch TV. You know, it just changing. It's just getting your mind off of that sexual, you know, that sexual feeling. So, you know, you putting your focus toward a movie. You putting your focus towards the TV. What's on the TV? So if you're putting your focus there, what else is going there? Your energy. So it's gonna, you know, it's gonna drain some of that sexual energy because, you know, it takes energy, it takes focus to, you know, look at a movie for 2 hours, you know, 3 hours or 1 hour. It takes energy to do that. So guys, man, this is how you manipulate a sexual urge. Another thing too, man, you can go outside and, you know, walk around your neighborhood. Walk around your neighborhood. You know, walk around the block. Come back inside. Some of you guys might have sexual urges like maybe in the morning. You know? No homo, but, you know, in the morning, you know, us guys, a lot of us guys, man, our slide be, you know, sticking up. Rock hard. No homo. I'm just saying, but it's the truth. You know, I'm just speaking the truth, man, because, you know, a lot of guys, they just need the blood raw truth. So I'm just putting it out, man. If you have a sexual urge in the morning, you know, set your alarm clock till earlier. You're getting up earlier so you can do exercise or something like that so you can get rid of that sexual urge. Or, you know, if you go into your job, that's a good way to release the sexual urge. You know, because you're working. You know, you're hands-on. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that's another way to manipulate a sexual urge. Working, going to work, get a side hustle, man. You know, a lot of you guys, you'll get on from work and then you end up having these sexual urges. You get on from work, man. It's possible. I mean, a lot of guys have it. We do when we get on from work. Some of us, we have sexual urges when we get on from work. We just be sitting up, texting females, you know. Oh, this is another thing, how to manipulate a sexual urge. Cut women off. Yeah, I know you don't want to hear that. I know you might think it's sweet, funny. Nobody's not going to know that you're not talking to nobody unless you tell them. You know what I'm saying? But cut women off. Focus on yourself. This is how you manipulate a sexual urge. You know, you texting those chicks, man, and some of them saying, you know, freaky stuff to you and all that. Y'all sexting and all. Man, you're going to get a sexual urge. You're going to end up relapsing, man. You're going to end up relapsing. That's just the blood raw truth. I know you don't want to hear it, but it is what it is. You're going to end up relapsing. You're going to end up letting it out. But guys, man, this is how you manipulate a sexual urge, man. I hope I gave you guys enough, tips to how to manipulate a sexual urge. Go to the gym. Even if you want to, take a little spin in your truck or car. I mean, whatever you have to do, to change your, it's about just changing your focus, mainly. That's how you get rid of a sexual urge. All these type of tips is to change, is changing your focus so you can put your focus and your energy comes with that towards something else, to manipulate it. So you don't have to be worrying about, thinking about, ejaculating. No, you ain't got to worry about that. But guys, man, and for you guys too, it's another way to manipulate, a sexual urge. But this is very, very deep. I know most of you guys not practicing this, and I don't want you guys not practicing this. But some of you guys might be in a relationship. You might be in a relationship. Even though you might be, I'm not gonna even go there. Because that involves sex. I ain't going there. I'm about to say non-ejaculatory sex, but still, you still, having sex. So, that's not how you manipulate a sexual urge. So, but guys, man, just change your focus. Don't be, like I said, don't even pay attention to what I just said just then. Don't have non-ejaculatory sex. A lot of you guys don't end up releasing. And that's just the truth. Like I said, just cut women off, change your focus to something positive, man. That's how you manipulate a sexual urge. It's Semen.